Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. We're going to give it just another minute or two before we get started. Let everybody filter in here. So thank you all for joining. Get started in just a minute. All right. It's about 6:32, almost 6:33. We're going to go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. My name is David D. Trinidad, and I am the Vice President of Sales for Solutionz West. Solutionz is one of the leading AV integrators in the country. I'm excited to be with you here today. We know that your time is valuable, and we appreciate you investing your time with us this morning. We hope that you'll find the information that we're about to share extremely helpful. Just a little housekeeping before we begin. If you have any questions throughout the presentation today, please feel free to ask your questions via the Q&A field, and we'll be sure to answer all questions at the end of the presentation. So our role as an AV integrator is to be the bridge. We connect your department's operational needs with the right mix of technology, and we make sure that they work seamlessly together. So modern fire stations aren't just about trucks and gear anymore. They're command hubs. They're training centers, they're communication lifelines, and that's where AV technology plays a critical role. But before I dive in deeper into our role as an AV integrator, I'd like to take a quick moment to introduce the other folks that will be presenting today. So as we spend the next few moments together, you'll be hearing from several industry experts who also happen to be some of our most trusted partners. You'll be hearing from Kristen DeProspero. Kristen is the Vice President of Grant and Adoption Services for Solutionz. You'll also be hearing from Phil Cilia. Phil is the Senior Regional Manager for AV Products with BiAmp. And then you'll hear from Sean Wilson. Sean is the Regional Sales Manager for Crestron. And then wrapping it up for us today, you'll hear from Amy Oschlager. Amy is the Training Specialist for LG Electronics USA. So what is an AV integrator, and why is our role important? And AV manufacturers generally do not sell direct to the end customer because of the complexity of various AV systems that are needed to make everything work. The need for specialized design, installation, expertise, and support model required really commands that there's an AV integrator in the mix there. Instead, manufacturers sell through AV integrators like Solutionz, who serve as a critical bridge between the manufacturer's products and the customer's real-world environment. You see, we start by sitting down with our customers, with the fire chiefs, with the captains, with the crews to understand your day-to-day challenges and workflows. Whether it's clear audio in the apparatus bay, effective training systems that are needed, or reliable conferencing for regional coordination, our job is to translate those needs into technology solutions. We design systems that integrate the best-in-class products from companies like BiAmp, LG, and Crestron, who you hear from today, but we tailored those products specifically for a firehouse environment, which means we account for background noise, rugged use, and ease of operation so technology never slows you down. We here at Solutionz handle the logistics, the wiring, the installation, the coordination with other contractors and manufacturers so that your staff doesn't have to worry about chasing vendors and managing multiple quotes. But most importantly, we provide long-term support. If something goes down in the middle of a training session or during an emergency, you need to know, or you need somebody who knows your system inside and out and who can get you back online quickly. AV systems turn your training room into high-impact environments. Video conferencing gear, clear audio, interactive whiteboards, and displays that support everything from live scenarios to remote guest speakers. We design paging and notification systems with crisp, intelligible audio that can cut through engine and or background noise, helping ensure calls are never missed and instructions are always understood. Whether it's daily shift briefings, regional coordination during wildfire season, or remote training, AV systems allow chiefs and captains to connect securely and reliably without wasting time on technology struggles. Think of the AV integrator as your general contractor for technology. Yet Biamp, LG, and Crestron each bring best-in-class solutions to the mix, but at Solutionz, here at Solutionz, we make sure that those pieces work together seamlessly and installed correctly, and that they continue to perform reliably year after year. You don't need to know every detail about how technology works. That's really our job. You just need to know that it'll be there ready to use when you need to use it. If you're thinking about modernizing your fire station, whether it's upgrading training rooms, adding conferencing capabilities, or improving alerting systems, please reach out to us after the webinar. We'd love to schedule a station walkthrough or schedule a demo for you. We'd love the opportunity to talk to you about your department's priorities, and we'd love to see how we can align technology and grants to help make your vision a reality. Now, of course, none of this matters if it feels like none of this matters if it feels out of reach financially. That's why we work hand in hand with our grants team, which is who you'll hear from next. They help departments identify and apply for grants that cover AV upgrades. They help take the financial burden off of your station and which helps you to focus more on what matters most, protecting your community. So thank you for your time this morning again, and the critical services that you provide to each and every one of our communities. It's an important service. We are proud to partner with fire departments like yours. At this point in time, I'd like to hand this over to Kristen DeProspero. Again, she's our Vice President of Grant and Adoption Services here at Solutionz. Kristen?
Thanks, David. I appreciate that. Yes, we do focus on a number of different grants, but today we're going to focus on this one, of course. So thank you. Again, I'm the VP of Grant and Adoption Services at Solutionz, and I'm joined by our National Grant Manager, Stephanie Penault. She's going to talk in just a few seconds. David just gave a great overview of who Solutionz is and what we bring to the table. Now, we're going to take a few minutes to focus on how the Assistance to Firefighters Grant, or the AFG, can help fund your training-ready AV equipment that aligns with your department's operational needs and readiness goals. We've seen many projects funded where departments made smart upgrades to their training rooms and multi-purpose spaces using solutions from some leading AV manufacturers like LG, Crestron, and Biamp. The other presenters will share more about how their solutions fit with your environment in a few minutes. What made these applications successful wasn't just the tech. It was the narrative behind it. In fact, that's the most important part. Reviewers want to see how this equipment leads to better outcomes, faster onboarding, higher test pass rates, better retention, more scenario-based training, and enabling flexible delivery for part-time and volunteer staff of that content. So all while staying in the station and ready to respond quickly to alarms. So whether you're supporting hazmat certifications, ICS simulations, or EMS protocols, if your training space can't support effective delivery today, that's a good justification reviewers will understand. Your training spaces may not have any collaboration tech today, or maybe your training facilities are outdated and should be upgraded to the most effective technology available. The bottom line is you have mandatory regular training requirements. Tell that story to the reviewers, because the critical services you provide to local communities deserves to be supported by the best training programs. Now, let's walk through the AFG process, application process. This may be a review for many of you who are familiar with the program, but for those that are new to the program and this funding source, I'll briefly cover those basics. The Assistance to Firefighters Grant is administered by FEMA and typically opens in late fall. We've just arrived in fall, so usually it's around November. Once the notice of funding opportunity, or they call it the NOFO, is released, departments usually have 4 to 6 weeks to prepare and submit their application. So some basics. To apply, you'll need to register in a few key systems if you aren't already. Most departments already have these, but you need to make sure, just in case I'm going to review them. So you need to be registered in the sam.gov, which is your System for Award Management account, and it must be active. That's where the UEI, or the Unique Entity ID, is managed, and it must be up to date and not expired to receive federal funding. You also need to be registered and up to date in your grants.gov portal. This is where the NOFO will be posted and can also serve as a reference for general grant information. But the FEMA Go, or grants outcome, that FEMA Go portal, that's where you actually complete and submit the application. It's a web-based portal managed by FEMA. You'll create your application, fill in the narratives, attach required documents, and hit submit, all from FEMA Go. The good news is this application itself is straightforward and it's very manageable. Much of the content is information that you already have, like your department's service area, population served, your call volume, existing training practices, and even equipment needs. So we typically recommend setting aside 10 to 15 hours total for a strong submission, enough time to collect your data, draft your narratives, have a second set of eyes to review it, maybe even a third set of eyes, and finalize everything in FEMA Go. Solutionz is here to help. While we don't write grants, we offer review and guidance to help you present a clear and compelling justification, especially when it comes to describing how your training goals will be enhanced by AV investments and how those are tied directly to the goals of the AFG program. So finally, a quick note about cost. There's no fee to apply, but there is a required match. Most departments will need to contribute 5 to 15% of the project cost, depending on their population size. However, tribal and high need applicants may qualify for match waivers. It's important to check the NOFO each year to confirm your department's match requirements. There might be changes to this next grant application, so read the NOFO at least 3 times to be sure you're following the current guidelines to a T. So now, I want to bring in someone who helps departments shape that story every single day. Our national grant manager, Stephanie Penalt. She works closely with customers as their sounding board and strategic partner in preparing AFG requests that align with the grant scoring criteria. Stephanie?
Thanks, Kristen. And as Kristen said, I'm Stephanie Penalt, and I lead the support services for departments applying to AFG. One thing we're clear about upfront is we don't write your grant, but we do help you develop your vision, refine your language, and make sure the justification supports the scoring rubric. Some of the questions we might ask are, what are your current training delivery limitations? Or who will benefit from the improved access? Or can you tie this to NFPA requirements or continuing education mandates? And when you pair that narrative with well-planned AV gear, not overkill, but purposeful tools, the total picture of the grant starts to make sense to the reviewer. The reviewers need to understand how these funds will improve your training program. Additionally, you can also reach out to the AFG Help Desk for any eligibility or application questions. But if you want to think through the story, that's where Solutionz comes in. We're not here to push products. We're here to help you build a case that gets funded. At the end of this presentation, you'll see a QR code that takes you to a form to request a free grant consultation with our team. We're here to help talk through your plan to apply. Thank you for your time. And with that, I'll hand it back to Kristen. Back to you.
Thanks, Stephanie. Stephanie is very helpful when you're going through the page by page, and also that AFG helped us. Those are two really good resources that you should leverage. One of the most powerful uses of the AV technology in a firehouse isn't just that it modernizes the space. It's that it enables the departments to deliver the required training programs more efficiently, more effectively, and without pulling crews from the floor. Think about it. Programs like Firefighter 1 and 2, Hazmat Operations, EMS Continuing Education, CPR refreshers, CBA, SCBA, and turnout gear drills, and incident command system simulations. All of those can be delivered on site, also using video, voice, and interactive content, and recorded material to reinforce that learning. We see this come to life with solutions like Crestron's foundational technologies, BIAM sound systems, and LG displays. And the huge benefits crews can stay in the station while completing their certifications. Volunteers can access the content remotely if needed. And you don't have to sacrifice availability or readiness just to complete essential training cycles. That means more uptime, more consistent skill building, and potentially faster response times and better outcomes in the field. At Solutionz, we don't stop at installation and just installing the equipment. David sort of referenced this earlier. Our adoption and digital training services team is here to also ensure that your end users know exactly how to operate and benefit from every feature of that AV equipment. This technology has gotten really advanced. There's a lot of capabilities. So the end users may not be familiar with all of the bells and whistles and capabilities, and we're here to help with that. So whether it's managing hybrid training, recording sessions for playback, sharing content from multiple sources, or setting up room automation for daily use, our adoption specialists provide comprehensive, personalized support that helps the departments get the full value of their investment and all of those features from each of those types of systems. So we're not just handing over a system. We're helping you implement a turnkey solution that strengthens your training delivery for years to come. So just to wrap it up, if your department is looking to improve training effectiveness, meet certification requirements, or better serve part-time and volunteer responders, the AFG could be a strong fit. Remember, We also can look at other funding sources as well. But with the AV that you can purchase under the AFG program, this could be a really perfect fit. So AV systems that help deliver that training, whether it's displays, cameras, microphones, or automated systems, they're all eligible if you tell the right story. And that's where we come in. Think of us as partners in preparation. Let us help you define the needs, select the right gear, and shape your narrative so you can submit with confidence when the window opens later this year. Now, I'm excited to pass the mic over to our partner at Crestron, Sean Wilson, who's going to walk through how Crestron Solutionz can be used in real firehouse training environments to drive this kind of success. Sean, over to you.
Thanks, Kristen. Appreciate it. Hi, everyone. My name is Sean Wilson with Crestron Electronics. Today, I'm going to be talking about video conferencing and control solutions. I'll also be talking about how intelligent video products can really enhance the video conferencing and collaboration experience. So first up, we'll talk about video conferencing and Crestron Flex. The need for video conferencing and hybrid meetings increased rapidly a few years ago during lockdown. Currently, we see that roughly 84% of meetings include a remote participant. So it's more important than ever that both the remote and in-room participants are able to collaborate effectively and productively. Video conferencing solutions need to be able to scale across multiple room types and sizes. There are also some fundamental needs these days that every space is expected to have. And these include, easy to use, video enabled, intelligent audio and video solutions or products within those rooms, and they have to be simple and easy to deploy and manage. At the core of our Flex product line, which is our video conferencing product line, is a UC engine, which is the compute that runs your conferencing platform of choice, and a touch panel, which is your interface to operate the system. Depending on your room and needs, we have all sorts of deployment options that can add to those core components. We have center of room, front of room, and custom options to fit everything from your smallest spaces up to your larger, more bespoke systems. We have both Windows and Android OS systems, and we can incorporate our AirMedia wireless collaboration product for easy presentation, content sharing, and BYOD capabilities. When it comes to platforms, we have Zoom and Teams Room certified solutions. These are great systems that provide features such as one-touch join, increased reliability, advanced noise suppression, and higher security. And as I mentioned before, we can also add AirMedia to a system and provide BYOD or bring your own device where a meeting is hosted from a local laptop using the audiovisual peripherals in the room. Rooms can be set up to be strictly BYOD, or we can add that functionality to a Teams or Zoom system, and you can have both within the same system. Nowadays, there are some key fundamental technologies that are very common in the meeting space. Those include intelligent video features like group framing, presenter tracking, and speaker tracking. But Crestron also has some unique capabilities we can offer that include intelligent switching of multiple cameras, our visual AI features, and custom composition, which can be leveraged through our One Beyond Automate VX system. Intelligent video solutions are available for everything from your high-impact space down to your bring your own device system, and we can cover every size from your extra large or custom space down to your smallest meeting rooms. So the first intelligent video feature we're going to touch on is presenter tracking. This is where we track an individual across the front of a room who's giving a presentation or some sort of instruction. This is great for your training rooms, lecture hall spaces that often have presenters speaking to an audience. It smoothly tracks them in a defined zone and provides the far end participant a close-up view of the presenter. Just makes them more engaged in the presentation. We can take this one step further with group tracking. This allows us to track up to 3 participants at the front of a room, up to 50 feet away. The camera detects a participant as they enter the presentation area and adjusts accordingly to keep all presenters within the frame. We can also do active speaker tracking, which integrates the audio system into the room intelligently to cut to the shot of the active speaker, allowing the far end to clearly see who's speaking and to better follow the conversation and nonverbal cues that are happening within the space. And the last feature I'm going to highlight is our visual AI direction. In this scenario, we designed the system with multiple cameras around the room so that our visual AI automatically switches to the best camera based on the direction that the person speaking is facing at that time. And it'll continue to auto frame and switch cameras if the person continues to move or change direction. Now here we're going to show an example of a OneBeyond Automate VX system. We're showing multiple OneBeyond cameras running into our Automate VX server and outputting to a single USB connection that's going to our Flex Video Conferencing UC engine. All of the custom switching, visual AI, and composition are done upstream of the video conferencing platform, which just sees all of this as a single camera. On the right, you'll see an example of our design software where we lay out all of the cameras, microphones, and virtual mic positions to scale for your room. This allows us to know exactly how the system is going to operate ahead of time and avoid any potential problems prior to installation. Lastly, for those flexible spaces, multi-purpose rooms, training rooms, etc., that use multiple different configurations in the same space, we can provide an overlay for each layout, which makes converting a room easy as possible. For Automate, it is crucial that every seat is placed in exactly the same space for each room layout. So we can convert a room from a classroom configuration to a boardroom layout in minutes leveraging this feature. And finally, we come to our control products that provide easy operation of these systems. We offer commercial grade touchscreens in all form factors, keypads, button panels, wall mount and surface mount touch panels in 5, 7, and 10-inch sizes. And we can also provide a wireless 10-inch certified Zoom Rooms controller in our new TSD 1080 panel. And while the graphic interfaces for Zoom and Teams Room systems are driven by the platform, we can still implement custom AV controls into the touch panel to handle any custom control that might be needed within the space. The goal is to automate your room and make the operation as simple as possible. And to complement all this, we have our XIO cloud platform, which allows you to manage all of your devices, troubleshoot and resolve issues remotely, receive alerts and notifications when issues do arise, and gain data on room utilization. This is a great tool to see everything in one dashboard and have live status on your system. And now I'd like to turn it over to Phil Celia with Biamp to talk about the importance of good audio in your space and the incredible products that they offer.
Hey, thanks, Sean. Good morning, everybody, or good day, wherever you may be. I'm Phil Celia, Senior Regional Manager at Biamp here in the West, where we pride ourselves in delivering extraordinary audio into any space, including the firehouse space. And today we're going to just talk briefly about why it's critical that you have good audio in your firehouse locations. A good audio will ensure that audibility and the clarity of your emergency messages are easily heard. Good audio will overcome challenges in the busy and noisy environment, and will make sure that your alerts are reliable and instantaneously delivered every single time. We'll dig into that a little bit. As you probably know, a firehouse is a noisy environment, right? There's competing sounds all over the facility, air compressors and engines and sirens and training activities. And a sound reinforcement system that's robust will ensure that your audio is clear, it's heard by everyone, regardless of where they are on the location. It will minimize delays, and it will ensure, again, that all personnel, regardless of where they are alerted. Interesting. It will also improve firefighter health. Good audio really actually reduces stress because you're not unsure of what is being said, or the messaging is clear and you don't have to stress about that. It will also avoid hearing damage. Good, clear audio avoids hearing damage because distorted and unclear audio will actually damage the inner ear. It will actually improve operational awareness. You'll be able to have automatic voice dispatching, and you'll be able to set up specific alerts. And of course, the system will need to be fail-safe. It will need to have redundant communication and, of course, power supplies that would be uninterrupted. These are all factors in a good and robust audio system. So as you go back to your stations, how can you evaluate the effectiveness of your sound reinforcement system? So a few things you can do here. You could measure the response time. You can make sure that the system is reliable and available and there is redundancy in case of failure. You can walk around the entire facility and make sure you can hear announcements everywhere in the facility, in the restrooms, in any space where anyone may be during an emergency. And then you want to make sure that that audio is clear and intelligible, easily understood. Now, the picture down below, you'll see that this is what we call a heat map or a coverage map. And what you want to ensure is that everywhere in your facility, there are no holes in the audio, that no matter where you are at your ear height, you will be able to hear the audio clearly and intelligibly. So the challenges and how can you address them? Well, you got audibility and intelligibility challenges, and most systems lack good, clear, intelligent audio, and that's what Biam prides itself in, full on. You want to make sure that your firefighter health and safety is of supreme importance. You want to make sure that there aren't any technical and integration challenges. Some of these facilities are old. Some of these facilities, lack the infrastructure to actually house a robust system. So you want to address that, and you want to address any acoustical design issues. The chart below shows that you want the sound to be centered on where people are and where personnel are, and not anywhere else in the building. This will actually improve your intelligibility and your response time. So reliable paging, intelligibility, they're critical for time-sensitive emergencies, for widespread notification throughout the facility, providing clarity in a very noisy environment. Also, there's a lot of communication that goes on in a firehouse, and you want to make sure that none of that communication interferes with the sound reinforcement system. You want to make sure you have good redundancy and good backup. That will eliminate any kind of delays, and of course, good audio will eliminate any interpolation delays, and will ensure the accountability that everything is being heard when it's supposed to be heard. So at Biamp, we have a number of products that will address these needs. We have robust speaker solutions for any size, any location, anywhere within the facility. We have a Vocia paging, emergency and text-to-speech. This is a robust system that can automate your emergency responses, your emergency announcements, via a live announcement or a text-to-speech, and of course our amplifiers to power all that. So basically, get together with your Solutionz representative, and they're fully versed in all of these products and can help specify what would be the best products for the application for your specific space. And thank you very much. I'd like to turn it over now to Amy from LG.
Hi, my name is Amy Oslager. I am a training specialist with LG. Today I'm going to show you our LG Create board. This Create board comes in a variety of sizes, 55 up to a 105. It has built-in speakers as well as 2 styluses that it comes with. It has the ability to do screen sharing. You can connect various devices to the board. And today I'm going to just show you some of the features of the board and kind of walk through some of the things that you can do, whether it's in your training centers, command centers, boardrooms, or conference rooms, and just some different things that we can do with the board. This board is running on Android, which means that it has that Android capability with the Google Play Store. It has the ability to download any Google applications. It does come with Google applications built in. You can also add any Microsoft applications. From this Android side, you can connect directly to your any of your Google or PowerPoint that you might have. You can also access the Chrome browser quickly and easily as well. I'm going to start off and just show you our Note app, which is our whiteboarding application. So that's kind of just the basic, simplest way to use the board would be to walk up, open up your Note application. When I open it up, I've got a image that I've imported into this, so I can use that image. I can move it, I can make it bigger, that sort of thing. I can also utilize my pen tool to write on this. So if I wanted to write, right now I'm writing in white, so let's just change that color. So I can circle things and write on this. What's nice about the Note app is that anything that I do within this app, I can share out or I can save. So if I wanted to save this, I can simply open up my menu, go in, hit save. I can save this directly to the board, or I can save it to a Google or OneDrive, so that work doesn't get lost. I can also export it as a PDF. So if I wanted to take this information and then share it out with my team, I could do that through a PDF and just email that. I can also use the share feature, which generates a QR code. So anyone in the meeting, or even if they're remote and in like a Teams or Zoom meeting, they can come in and share this or scan this code and share that information. So very easy to create in the whiteboarding app, as well as to share that or save that information. Lots of customizations can happen in here as well. I can change the background, so I can change not only the color, but I can also change whether I want lines or that sort of thing within the background. You can also add your own backgrounds in here as well. Lots of variety with the pen, so I've got different pens that I can use in here as well. So lots of ways that I can customize this and make this my own. When I'm done in the Note application, I can simply exit out, and that will take me out. It'll ask if I want to save. I'm going to go ahead and just hit cancel, and I'm going to use my side toolbar. My side toolbar allows me to navigate through this board. I'm going to hit the home button, which will take me back to my home screen. Within the side toolbar, I can access files that I have. I can also access my Chrome browser. So I have here in my browser just some alerts. You can see I can move this around. I can go to different tabs within my browser. If I wanted to write on here, I can simply pick up my stylus and use that to write and annotate. So I can just pick that up. It'll immediately start writing on here. I can even change colors, so if I wanted different colors and so forth. And with this, I can save it. I can also share it. If I wanted to delete those annotations, I could use my hand as an eraser, or simply exit out of that and go to a different website or move this around. I can shrink this, all kinds of things that I can do and manipulate this within that browser here. If I wanted to maybe have my browser open along with my Note application, so I wanted to maybe take notes on this, I can do a split screen, so I can have this open. Let's just add a page. I could start taking notes right here. So I've got that ability to split the screen and see two things up here at once, and utilize some of these tools on the side toolbar. Not only can I annotate, I can also do a screen capture. I also have calculator ability to record, a quick polling feature as well. I also have a picture-in-picture. Picture-in-picture allows me to take a look at what's on my Android side. So you can see here right now, I have a Windows OPS plugged in. So what that is it's just a small device that I can stick into the side of the board. I can utilize that, or I could plug my computer in with my USB-C and have that same feature available. So the picture-in-picture allows me to have my computer open while I have the Android side running. Let's say that I wanted to just have my computer, I can just switch over, hit that PC button. This is going to switch over to my PC mode. Now anything that's on my PC is going to be accessible on the board. So I can open up, I have my Edge browser open. I could go to any type of bookmarks that I might have in my browser and open that up. I also, any type of application that I might need to run. So if you have specific applications that you're using within your departments, you can load those onto that PC and then open those up quickly from the PC. So I can go back and forth between both sides, the Android and the browser and the PC, just very easily. I can also add additional accessories too. I can also, with this, add microphone, speakers, any other type of accessories that I might want to add to the board to allow me to utilize it. This does have screen sharing as well. So I can open up my screen sharing app, ability to use AirPlay, use Chromecast, use Miracast. I can also webcast directly here if I'm not on the same network. So I'm able to take whatever's on my device, share it directly to the screen without having to plug in. It even allows for remote with that webcast. So if I have somebody who's remote and wants to share their screen, they can do that through the webcast. So lots of features that are available within the board. We have, like I said, a variety of sizes and a lot of different specs here that you guys can, of course, take a look at after the webinar. And we are happy that you had us join. And I'm going to throw it back so we can get more information. Thanks so much.
All right. Well, thank you, Amy, as well as a big thank you to all the other presenters we heard from today. We hope you found the information we shared beneficial for your department's needs. At this point in time, with the time that we have left, we'd like to open it up to any questions that you may have or that you might have shared through the Q&A feature here. And I'll go ahead and read the questions. So, first question from Dylan McFarland. Has anyone gotten any insight from FEMA on whether the FY fiscal year 24 AFG applications were renewed yet or not? The last award for the AFG was on 9/23/24, fiscal year 23.
Sure. Yeah, I can take that, David.
Okay.
So yeah, it's an interesting date because here we are 9/25/2025. So it's very possible that the full list is going to be released any day now. There have been specific awards released, and you're going to want to go check in FEMA.gov for, if you applied, you're going to want to go to FEMA.gov for official awards lists. I've got a few examples of some that have been awarded in the past few cycles. In the 2023 cycle, for example, though, let me tell you, they went to 12 rounds of awards. So when they finish those rounds, whether it be 12 or 13 or 11 rounds, which is probably going to be this month, they will release a full list. So the short answer is yes, there have been awards for FY24. And if you'd like information about specific ones, I could give you a couple of examples.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kristen. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I think I see the next question, for LG. Sorry, David, I think you were going to handle that, but it says, is there two-way collaboration? If so, what does that look like? How many can share for LG?
Sure. So as far as collaboration, through the Create Board Share application, there is the ability for multiple screens to be shared at once. Up to 9 on the board can be shared at the same time. And then the board itself has 40 points of touch, so you could actually have up to 40 touches on the board at the same time. So as far as, being able to collaborate, there's just a multiple ways of doing that collaboration, whether you have people up at the board or sharing their screens, or simply, utilizing some sort of collaboration software that can be added in. So yeah, there's just numerous ways to collaborate on the board.
Thanks, Amy.
Yeah.
For Crestron, is any of the video conferencing or control technology a security risk?
Really good question. So our systems are in some of the most secure spaces around the world. We've got systems in federal government spaces, military spaces, et cetera. Most of our products have security reference guides as well that we can provide if any local IT teams or want to review anything. And then we have a dedicated security team that can answer any questionnaires they may have, or provide additional information outside of the reference material that we have. But generally, we don't run into any security issues.
Wonderful. Thanks, Sean. Question for Solutionz. Do you have any purchasing contracts that we can leverage in order to purchase without having to go out to bid? Again, great question. We do. We work with multiple state contracts across the country. We also work with the Omnia contract and the NASPO contract. So we do have multiple purchasing contracts that we can leverage. Basically, all you need to do is reach out to us and we can have a deeper dive into that conversation. So the answer is yes. Next question. There's a general question. It says, this may be the next slide, but was wondering about everyone's contact that spoke today. There is a QR code. So at the final slide, there will be my email address and Kristen DeProspero's email address will be your primary point of contact. You can reach out to us directly and we'll make sure that we pair you up with the right person within our organization. There's also a QR code that you can scan that Stephanie and Kristen made reference to earlier on to fill out a form for more grant assistance. All right, let's see. For LG, next question. What support does LG offer on their displays?
So, we just have a wide variety of solutions. So, I mean, the LG name is pretty well known. And just, the amount of solutions that are out there, allow us to really have a great support team. Where our service is in the US, so it's just out of Alabama. We have a great service portal that allows for, easy, exchange of items. We have a hands-on engineering team. We also, I'm a training specialist for the Create Board. So my role is to provide that training and support for anyone who's purchasing our Create Board, along with, a standard warranty plus options of extended warranties. So just a lot of different ways that we can provide that support.
Wonderful. Thanks, Amy. And
Yeah.
I'll just kind of dovetail off of that as well. As your AV integrator, Solutionz does offer an all-encompassing maintenance contract for all the equipment, so that you have one contract that handles whether it's LG, Crestron, Biamp, or whatever the case may be. One number to call, and then we work directly on the back end with the manufacturers to get your product serviced and replaced and that type of thing. Okay. Let's see. For Solutionz, do you charge anything to come out and do a site walk and or to prepare a quote? Great question. No, we do not. We just want to hear from you, and we'd love to meet with you and see how we can help. And we'll come out, do a site walk. We can schedule a demo, as I mentioned earlier on. There's no charge for any of that, just to have a conversation to see how this technology could potentially help your particular needs. Okay. For Crestron, are we able to see any of this technology in action before we invest?
Yeah, really, another good question. Yeah, so we have experience centers around the country. We have a handful of them, which if you're near one of those, we are more than happy to set up a visit to one of those and you can see it in person. We can demo all of the equipment that we have there, live and in action. If you're not, then we can work with somebody like Solutionz here to set up a virtual demo. And oftentimes for video, especially for the video conferencing products, the far end experience is really what we're trying to show off anyhow. So don't hesitate to reach out and set something like that up.
Yep. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, and again, just reach out to Solutionz and we'll help make sure that we help facilitate any demo that you may need, whether it's there at their facility or maybe a demo there, we can bring in-house to your location as well. Okay. Let's see. This is for the grants team. Are the specific examples of fire departments using AFG funds that reference AV technology in the applications? Or are there specific examples?
Sure.
I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll take that one. There's a few examples, actually quite a few examples of awards that specify this type of equipment, AV training room, whether it's an upgrade or it's a brand new implementation. One would be the Newton Fire Department in Iowa. They were awarded $74,000 and their match was $3,700. So that was a relatively small award. There's another one in Portland. That was the Portland Fire and Rescue in Oregon, and they received $1.2 million and change for training equipment and training facilities. And various training aids. So keep in mind that whether it's an individual or regional application, the award may include, and most likely includes, a lot of different types of training specified, either technology or tools or programs like simulators. There have been a few cases where we've seen AV only, like the entire award was dedicated to upgrading the facility to implement interactive and AV supported training. But most of them have a combination of things, the simulators and the AV and maybe a mobile trailer or mobile training unit. So there are quite a few. I've got them in Alaska, New Hampshire, all over the country.
Thanks, Kristen. Next question for LG. Does LG offer remote management and extended warranties?
Yeah, so we do have both options available, the standard warranty as well as extended warranties. And, that can be worked through Solutionz. I know you guys have that information. And then as far as remote management, so all of our create boards have the option to add our connected care, which allows for all of the boards to be managed remotely, whether it's by site or on a full site. So that's just an option that you can have, allowing you to be able to remote into a board or just simply set up specific commands for the board when they turn on, when they turn off, that sort of thing.
Terrific. Thanks, Amy. And I'll add a little bit to that as well. So Solutionz, as your AV integrator, we also have what we call RMN, which is a remote monitoring and management tool. And all of the manufacturers that are here today, their management tool lives within our management tool. So what that does is it gives you one display that allows you to manage everything and see everything that's connected, whether it's working, whether it's not. It can tie back into our help desk so that we are alerted before you even know there's a problem with your products. We know that there's a problem and we'll address the issues immediately. So again, that's part of the overall kind of maintenance contract that we can offer for all the equipment out there. Okay. For the grants team, what does it cost to have the grant assistance from Solutionz?
Hi, I'll take that question. And in the beginning of this presentation, David let you know that we are a leading AV integration company. We do have the distinction of being the only AV integration company that has a dedicated grant program services team. The question is, how much does it cost to have us involved? And the answer is nothing. We are here to help you and support you in your application. Our hope is that we will forge a relationship with you. And then when you are awarded and it is time for you to get a quote for your project to go out to bid, is that you would turn to us for that quote. At the end of the day, That's what we're here for. We're here to help. We want to see these projects get funded, and it is a privilege and a pleasure to be connected. So if you'd like to reach out to us, our services are free of charge to you.
Terrific. Thanks, Stephanie. And folks, thank you for all the great questions. We really do appreciate it. And once again, we appreciate your time today and also appreciate the critical services that each of you provide our communities. If you'd like to have individual conversations about products or would like to schedule a demo, as we mentioned earlier, or a walkthrough, a site walkthrough, please contact me directly via email. It'll be on the next slide. Or if you would like to have a conversation with our grants team about how to possibly get this equipment funded, please reach out to Kristen DeProspero directly via email, which will be on the next slide as well. Also, don't forget, there's the QR code that you can scan to gather more information with regards to our grant assistance services. So with that, thank you all. We appreciate your time. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.